Kilo Delta Niner Delta X-Ray Foxtrot.
Roger there, and what's the name?
Name is John, and I'm in southern Illinois, very close to St. Louis. I have a 7300, and within the last week I got a ELECTRET KPA 500 amp. I'm doing about 400 out of it.
Roger, Roger. Now you have a very good RF signal. What we want to do is maybe fatten up the audio. You say you're running a 7300?
That is correct.
Okay, so we want to engage the compressor out of 3. Turn that compressor on, and at a 3 level. Roger, Roger.
Roger, now to 3.
Okay, then go to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust your mic gain to where your ALC meter reading is mid-scale to 2/3. Adjust your mic level to where your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, mic scale now is probably a little hot. Right now it's running right about 2/3.
All right, all right. Now come back and tell me about your antenna system.
Mine's kind of basic. I have a Hustler 6 BTV in the backyard with the 12 and 17 meter add-ons from DX Engineering, and I have about 40 radials planted through the grass.
Roger, Roger, John. Now, I have an exercise that you might like. What we do is we take our watt meter and we put it in PEP, and that watt meter should be in a place where you can see it as you're talking. Now, the game is, as you're talking, you want to keep that meter reading in the sweet spot. You know where it is on the meter, and so that's where exactly we want to keep it. And we can keep it there through the tempo of our speech and also the consistency of our amplitude of the modulation of our voice. So between those two things, we're going to try to keep that watt meter reading in the sweet spot in the PEP position. Roger?
Understand. I'm looking at the meter on the ELECTRET, and it's running around 440 right now.
Roger, Roger. So we want to keep that meter just hung right there at that wattage. So, you know, and that's a combination of the rate of speech and the consistency of our peaks of our voice. Roger?
Understand. So I want to stay around 400 to 440 in that range.
Exactly, and that's going to take a little practice, and then pretty soon it'll be second nature. But that way you will have one of the fattest signals going. Roger?
Roger. I've read a lot on this and know it's kind of it is an art.
Roger, and it's you know, I spent 50 years in broadcasting looking at VU meters. I can tell where a VU meter is going even before it leaves the resting place on the left-hand side, just by the velocity of the meter. You know, after you work one for 50 years, it's you know, kind of second nature. So I do look at mine now, and you know, and I also look at yours, Roger.
Yes, I understand. It helps to have someone who's got a lot more experience, and I've been in this ham radio game for like 2 years. Roger
that. Now, the mic you're using is what?
I have a Heil Pro headset.
Okay, you said headset?
That's affirmative.
Okay, because I did hear some little marinations of close mic proximity, and I was going to suggest that maybe you use a windscreen, a foam windscreen. You know, there's nothing against the regulations of putting two windscreens one over the other. Roger?
I may have to try to put something over or play with mic position also.
Yeah, sometimes if you can pull that mic out about 2 inches further than what it is, and then, when you do that, that will reduce your transient garbage, so to speak, but then you need to go back and reset your ALC level. Always, whenever you make any adjustment, go back and double check your ALC to be sure that it's running exactly mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
All right, I'll do that, and I'm going to crank up the mic gain a little bit right now and see what happens. There, we're running, 50, 60% on the mic gain.
Roger. Yeah, and maybe you might, instead of putting that mic right in front of your mouth, maybe moving it more to the side and try that, and let me hear that, and adjust your, again, check your ALC reading.
Okay, mic is somewhat off to the side, and we're running ALC around 60% now. I had to crank the mic gain up a bit.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, try that for a while. It probably would be better for plosives if it were off to the side there. But so let me say threes to you, and I appreciate the comeback there. That you'll love that 7300.
I've had it about a year and a half, and I still find things I didn't know it could do that.
Roger, I only know that radio. Well, I know that radio. I had my ELMER got me a 7300 to check out for almost 2 months, and so I ran it in the receive mode most of that time, and bypassing all of the features, because I really want for folks to be able to hear exactly what their radio sounds like. So I did bypass on the noise reduction, bypass on the 2 or 3 things, a bypass on the RF gain, so it's I consider that like antenna attenuate, and I run my other radios and attenuate because to avoid any overload, and a reduced RF level because not to get bandpass suck up between words, because we are copying the male and sideband. And the thing is, if you have your RF gain turned up, you have all of this noise trying to suck up between the words, and that's noise that you're introducing because your RF gain is much over, and so we do pull that down to where, if a person speaking and they be quiet, there is no suck up. It's just, whatever the bandpass noise is at the moment.
Yes, I understand. I know it's a lot of art to this.
Roger that. And you can go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. That will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. We're running right at 1,000 recorded Qsos at the moment, but you'll be looking for one called My Group Air Check 31320. Today's date, My Group Air Check 31320. Roger.
I will go to YouTube and look it up, and thank you very much. 73.
Roger, and that'll give us a couple of days to get it up there. We definitely will have it by then. Sometimes, a lot of times, it is earlier than that, but, it's just nice to, if the world falls apart and, all things are happening, we need maybe sometimes 2 days to get it there. So we'll say threes for now, John, and thanks for checking in, Roger.
And 73 to you.